everything around us exhausts us most of the week, that when we take a break, we just want to turn ourselves off. Hi, welcome back to whatever this is. My name is Kaysa. I'm online, and today I just want you to know that I do talk about a lot of different things, and one of those things today will be about how the bar is low. So, just as a reminder, please subscribe to make sure you never miss out on the various topics that I end up talking about. It really is funny how time flies faster the older that you get, and personally, I think it's because we never take the time to smell the roses or to focus on anything that actually matters in our life, a little bit outside of the survival aspect, if that makes any sense. We don't really focus at all in a lot of different ways. Social media is a great example of how we've destroyed our attention spans in favor of constant dopamine hits. And what's dawning on me is just how low the bar is for just about everything. However, I am not the first to say that. I've seen that speckled all over the internet, but what does that even mean? I want to preface this by saying that there are a lot of people out there who, just like me, are trying to make strides toward their goals. We are in life, or at least that's what I've seen, sold this benchmark of standards and told that if we just keep at it, we'll find what we're looking for. I've come to realize how none of those benchmarks make sense. And also, when I want to say come to realize, it's not that yesterday it dawned on me, but it's more like over the years of making efforts as a young adult, nothing is lining up for anything that I'm trying to do. Just it just doesn't feel like anything makes any sense. Everything has a loophole, caveat, stipulation, fine print. It's just ridiculous. This is not to get into like the literal numeric benchmarks or anything like that. I'm not saying that at age 27 I'm supposed to be making, 85K a year in salary. That's not benchmarking that I'm trying to refer to. I'm talking about how we are often given the exact layout of things to do, pathways and such, just to find out those things have nothing to do with what we're looking for. That the common knowledge we have is some par in some cases, and so is common sense. And so often it feels like that I'm the last to know something or was never told about something that could change my life for the better. It's not just tied to striving towards goals either. Just the other day, I learned that the placenta is almost like a foreign object in a pregnant woman's body. It's practically a parasite and made of the paternal genes primarily to help siphon resources from the mother. It is also a great contributor to miscarriages or other pregnancy issues because of the genetic contribution of the paternal contributor. Why am I struggling on that? I don't know. That doesn't really have anything to do with how the bar is low, but it's just also a fun fact that I learned the other day. Also, we could say that the bar is low for the health field for the past few decades, but I don't want to get into that because that's a whole video in itself. But the bar is really low for the basics, or what should be the basics of life. Many people don't want to venture out of their comfort zones, don't want to put in the effort, don't have access to resources, and don't have the confidence or creativity to do it. Yet, time and time again, we see people surpass the difficulties, making the previously mentioned reasons akin to excuses. So, yes, it does boil down to how much you want something, which is what made me realize how and why the bar is just so low. People don't actually want anything. I feel like a good majority of people don't try to surpass themselves as if their life depends on it with convictions. It seems far too dramatic. It's easier to settle, never question anything, and make do with what you have. And the this is enough mindset, this is a finish line, I can manage to sort of mindset is very odd to me. There's also probably plenty of studies and well articulated evaluations of how this common phenomenon is, but I didn't read them and I don't think I need to make my point. If you're watching this video, you've made it to the month of March. Black History Month has passed, and so has the turbulent first month of the year. In about a month and a half or so, 2025 has presented itself to be quite the show. Why a month and a half? Well, the newly re elected president has been showing the world the consequences of lowering the bar for society. There are a slew of issues that are already in place before he got into office. And now everything is seemingly getting worse or being set up to be worse globally. You might be wondering though, like what this has to do with bar being so low, especially for society. Well, I think, speculate, is that the benchmarks and pathways in society have become so low that most people are now more likely to sit back and watch their own demise from the comfort of their own homes. The quality and opportunities of life have always been debated, and now they are slowly diminishing even more, like a domino effect. Lowering the bar has made it easier to lower the bar even more. And we had barely survivable wages where many homeless people would have jobs but no homes despite working full time in some cases. Yet it doesn't take a lot to do a little more. If this person just opened a savings account at his age and had compounding interest, or if that person focused on networking, they could have had a job here, or if that person had spent their entire life focusing on the branch of science that they would have never heard of, they would have had the credentials here. All these unrealistic expectations of people have made it feel like everything is far out of reach. However, accessibility is also a major contributor to why the bar is so low, because they keep trying to raise entry level sort of positions or entry level knowledge, entry level experience, while also lowering the bar on what people generally have access to through the public. I think the bar is low in part also because of a lack of effort, but mainly because our society is set up to simply do less. Everything around us exhausts us most of the week, that when we take a break, we just want to turn ourselves off. Taking the time to listen to a podcast about financial best practices for the average person would probably help a lot of people have better financial literacy. But who has the time to listen to a boring podcast, pay attention to it, implement it, and then be consistent with those implementations? I'd rather listen to music that makes me feel good about my life situation, or watch a show so I don't have to pretend that my problems even exist. Just anything to make myself feel good. Self-admittedly, I have a growing watch list and downloaded videos I have yet to return to for things I have had the intention of doing in the future, probably one day. I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. The bar is so low that many people are confused when you don't do the basic things in life. The rebels, the outliers, the exceptions, if you will. I can promise you that the American dream of a white picket fence around your home with a car or two, a couple of kids, and a spouse is literally just settling. They have sold you this illusion of a great life that I truly never found the appeal of, because it just sounds like you're just doing nothing, in my opinion. This isn't to say it's bad to want that or that you have to want more, but the fact that the societal pipeline has been structured for so long for the benefit of the country, supposedly, is weird to me. They said get good grades, so you're smart enough to go to college, so you're smart enough to get a degree, so you seem fit enough to get a job, to work for 50 years while finding someone, hopefully someone you love and they love you, to marry and tie your lives together and get a home and start having kids to raise them to do the exact same thing. It's really a very simple way to live, and that's fine. It's also why I think the bar is so easy to lower. The other reason why I think the bar is so low is because of the access to know what options you have. I would think the first thought you would have as a viewer, if you aren't already aware, is to ask, yeah, and what else is there to do? See, that's my other problem. There are so many ways to live life in the unorthodox, non-traditional way, and I am not saying you have to go live in the woods or, unground yourself and go to space. Like, I'm not saying you have to live a crazy life. That is not for everyone. I mean, for the most part, I am not living such a, crazy life myself. I'm not out here living on a mountain in space. Like, I don't know, like, I can't even conjure up an example, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why I feel like people don't put in the effort and are willing to take the simple life contributes the fact that it is so much more of a simple process to just let yourself settle. So I'm not saying that you need to do more to fulfill yourself in life. I'm saying it is far easier for people to think that there's only life in doing what has already been laid out. So people don't actually try to do anything more in the first place. The way that I also come to this understanding or thought process, anyway, is that there are so many different options that I would think you would want to be inclined to do, but to never apply the idea of exploration to ourselves makes me sad. Like, it's not that it's not there, because we have the curiosity to explore the idea of what life could be if under different circumstances, which is why social media and entertainment will always be a form of escapism for us. Like, let's watch other people figure out how to do things and then live vicariously through them. And then that would be just it. And yet, I also have this mindset that if the bar is so low, I know that making any incremental change will raise my quality of life several degrees higher than most. And to sit here and compare myself and say that I'm getting better than everyone else is not the case. I'm saying for where I am personally right now, there are many people in the same relative position. And a good majority of them are not going to make the efforts that I would put investments into. So I'm not saying that if they don't try to learn a whole different field career path, get into a new job, and then start making more money somewhere else is the path that they need to take. Staying at one job and working really hard and then working your way up is also a very valid pipeline. I feel like there's nothing to challenge the need for both fulfillment and actual growth as a person. So the benchmark that I just explained, the second example of just staying at a job, working your way up, that is the normal pipeline. And I would say many people also miss out on that too, because so many people are overlooked for moving forward, moving up, having to do whatever they need to do. A lot of people don't know they just need to network and put themselves out there. A lot of people will just work and think that they are owed for their years of working, but no one knows their name and barely knows their work. And that's what I mean the bar is so low, because we have these expectations as well that if I keep doing this thing, it'll just happen. But that's not necessarily the case. And you may think that's also obvious, but not many people actually know that. And that's because our comfort zones, in my opinion, have gotten bigger mentally, at least. I think mentally our comfort zones have gotten bigger because of our expectations, what we were sold to be the pipeline, the path, the benchmark, the standards. But, there's other things going on. I understand people need to survive. I understand there's different circumstances. I am not ignoring that. I am saying that the benchmark itself is being lowered while the things that we would want in life are slowly getting further and further away in terms of what you need as credentials and what have you. So I feel like people are also settling on things that make them happy, or deriving pleasure from very simple, very less effort sort of ways. I feel like more people are sitting inside, rather watch TV than to go out to the actual show itself. And I feel like that we're missing out because of that. We're lowering the bar on our own qualities of life, lowering the bar on our challenging ourselves to do more. I just feel like it's just not the same. Yes, I'll be the one to listen to several podcasts and watch a YouTube video to learn something, and I'll take notes on topics that I may never have to interact with in life, but would add to my working knowledge of things. I'll spend the time making improvements and testing things out to see if they would fit my values in reality. And many people may do this and not even realize that they are raising the bar for themselves, learning things and having working knowledge of stuff. But a lot of people actually don't. A lot of people would rather consume the very thing that they always know that they like, just in different slight variations, never even fully understanding a lot of different things because of the different aspects of it relating to things they don't even know about. The bar is so low that simply questioning it already raises it for yourself. It could be any bar in your life, obviously. Education doesn't have an age. Time is relative to you or your perception. Our comforts are determined by what we tolerate, and life is a journey where you will always be discovering yourself, making tweaks to yourself, or even removing things entirely. The bar is low because most people, including yourself and including myself, at least that's how it was for me, expects you to give up when it gets tough or to never even try in the first place. I think that's why motivational speakers became so popular. It's easier to hear from someone else that you can do something than to try and tell yourself that you can do something. My biggest struggle was trying to figure out how to do something that I wanted to do. Then, if I failed or struggled to grasp it, I would get so doubtful of myself and mentally exhausted. So, I think I'm going to just leave it here. Raise the bar for yourself. Do the thing or learn about the thing, whatever it is, and take yourself apart and put yourself back together. You have from, this moment until the day you die. That's a lot of time. So many people waste it thinking that they don't have the time. My hope is that you stop sitting there wanting and wishing and actually take the smallest steps to get closer to your goals in life. But that is if you want to raise the bar. If you don't want to raise the bar, that's fine too. Don't let me, some random person on the internet, just tell you what to do because it makes you think that it will make me feel better. Like, I don't, obviously you're your own person. With that being said, let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe. I will be making more videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you at another time. Bye.